of self-expression and a way to stand out from the crowd. Gritty Gear is more than just a clothing brand. We're a community. We're here to inspire and motivate you to embrace your true self. We are a locally owned small business who do custom clothing orders too. Find us at grittygearcompany.com. Are you one of thousands of individuals who know you have psychic abilities but don't know how to tap into your higher self? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who offers classes that can help you reach your goals. Refined Divine holds classes Monday and Thursday at her 2 locations and via Zoom. Classes consist of manifestation, learning psychic abilities, shadow work, and healing trauma. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
This is Psychic Medium Deb. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for showers and storms tonight with a low around 68. Thursday afternoon thunderstorms with a high near 85. And Friday sunny with a high near 80. Craving authentic Szechuan and Peking Mandarin dishes? The Great Wall Restaurant offers menu favorites like pan-fried dumplings, sesame chicken, and Peking duck. Find them located just off 46th and France, or order takeout at 952-927-4439. Explore the full menu at greatwallrestaurant.us. Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakken.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening. Before we get to our guest tonight, I do want to just say that normally on every other Wednesday, we have psychic medium Refined Divine joining us for one question readings. She is unable to do so tonight. So for those of you who have any readings that you're hoping to get from Deb tonight, we're not going to be able to do them. Of course, you can always ask our guest to do any sort of readings if you want. I can't guarantee it's going to be an answer you want to hear, but this is the type of show that we want to keep things going. Before we and also one other thing, for those who follow Refined Divine, her Facebook page has been taken down this week, and so she doesn't have a Facebook page at the moment. I am not sure what their plan is. I think they're going to start a new one, but it's like 12,000 followers that is gone, and it doesn't sound like they're able to appeal it. But if you need to get a hold of Deb, go to her website, Psychic Medium, refineddivinemedium.com. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Let me look that up here a quick second here, because I want to make sure I get the right URL for that. That is refineddivinepsychic.com. refineddivinepsychic.com. Please, if you need to schedule a reading, go to one of her classes, check out her retreats, go and check it out through there, please. Adam is over in Eden Prairie. And how are you doing tonight, Adam?
Doing well, sir. Doing well. I hope your evening has been okay leading up to this. I mean, I know it's just Ernie, but I'm still a little excited for it.
Wow, already just
but to be honest with you, Ernie did give us probably the best paranormal story I have ever heard, where he talked about, working in Waverly and eventually meeting his lovely wife Denise through the spirits there at Waverly, really giving them both a hand. So a lot of respect to Ernie, as much as I begrudgingly have to say it, but still one of my favorite paranormal stories ever is his.
All right.
I'm wrong with that. Sorry.
So, okay. So a couple things here real fast before we get Ernie on here. If you are you listening on AM 950? That's great. If you're trying to watch us on anything AM 950, it's not working. Earlier, We did get a strike against us for Monday's episode that I had with Jesse Beltran. So we're not streaming all week to AM 950. But Adam, I'm also having trouble streaming to the Facebook page as well, and I'm not quite sure what that is about. So anyone who is if they're trying to listen and watch through AM 950, it's not going to happen. So there you go. All right. Why don't we get to our guest tonight? We got with us Mr. Ernie Pack, who very graciously, at the very last minute, agreed to come onto the program. And one of the things I wanted to do tonight with Ernie is, first of all, and Mandy's like, I'm on Facebook, it's okay, but are you on the AM 950 page? Because if you're on I don't think it's working on the AM 950 Facebook page. One of the things with Ernie is Ernie and his wife Denise have some very great paranormal experiences that go beyond just spirits and ghosts. And we just love talking paranormal. When I remember going out to the Ditto House in West Point, Kentucky, and all of us staying up till 5, 6 in the morning, just chatting about paranormal and all things like that. It's a lot of fun. And I just always love talking. And as much as Ernie and I give each other crap, I really have great respect for Ernie, have great respect for Denise. I have great respect for everything they're doing. And tonight, I just wanted to have a great conversation with Ernie. And just whenever folks is on your mind for paranormal and you want to hear Ernie's thoughts on it, let us know. We'll just kind of get going here. But Ernie, welcome to GhostBox Radio.
Well, thanks for having me again, Greg.
Well, thank you.
Good to be here.
And honestly, thank you so much for joining us at the last minute. For those who are joining a little bit late, because I see some people are like, I thought Refined Divine was on tonight. She is unable to join us. Ernie has graciously agreed to come on very last minute, to the point that we really couldn't have even promoted it all that well. So, I appreciate that. But before we get started here, I wanted to, I know that there is a giveaway happening with the Ditto House, and I wanted to talk about that before we kind of get into things, because it's for a good cause. And you and Denise are doing your bit to help something that's going on through Get Haunted, which is one of the networks that we're broadcasting on right now. What's going on for that?
Well, Get Haunted is promoting the screening of a new documentary called It's Coming, which documents the case of a family that is experiencing some things. The documentary was filmed by a guy who's not a paranormal guy. Mm-hmm. He's just a documentary filmmaker. And so the family is looking for some answers. They've got something going on in their house that, there's children involved. They're not sure if it's, possibly demonic, truly demonic. We've talked about that, how rare that actually is.
Right.
They're not sure if it's that or if it's just some kind of haunting that they need to understand better. But there's definitely something going on in the house, and the documentary uncovers a lot of evidence. I mean, they have a lot of activity that they catch on camera that's legit, and the stories from these children are just gut-wrenching, really. And so they're trying to get the word out about this documentary as much as possible so that maybe people can come through and help this family deal with whatever they've got going on there. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to do our part to help Get Haunted get the word out and sell the tickets to this screening. And so, we have people all the time asking us if they can investigate the Ditto House, which is our home here.
You're right.
And
you're in it right now.
I am here right now, Kentucky's most haunted house. And so we thought that we would throw a night at the Ditto House in, offer that up to anyone who purchases the advanced screening, gets their name entered into a drawing for a night here at the Ditto House.
Nice.
And it's just $15 to buy the screening. So for $15, you could have a chance to win a night here at the Ditto House. I think it's a pretty good deal, and it's gotten some sales so far, and
good.
Hopefully we'll keep adding to that. The sales end tomorrow at midnight, though, because the screening is this Friday.
Okay.
So if you want to get in on that, you need to do so as soon as possible. Hopefully Denise can put the link over here in the chat, and then maybe Greg can read it off for the folks who are listening on the radio.
And that's fine. And also we'll put it also on the Adam, if you're cool with it, put it on to the page that we post the podcast as well. And that way we can have that available for people. And then Denise says, because you didn't, they need to send us their screenshots of their purchase as well.
Yes. Yeah. Once you made your purchase, just send us a screenshot of that confirmation message that you get. And you can send it to myself, Ernie Pack, or Denise Pack, or send it to the Pac-Man Paranormal Facebook page, and we'll get you entered in the drawing.
And as we say every time you're on, I've spent a couple nights at the Ditto House, and it's really cool. It is it's also very beautiful. Your backyard is very beautiful, and the river and everything. It's just fantastic. And Denise, for those of you, she has put the I think Denise
read that off, Greg.
All you have to do, folks, is click on this, and you can have your chance to win. The folks are on the radio. There's about 3,000 characters to this link. It is enough for about 17 alphabets, but it does get you a chance to win a night at the Ditto House. So that's pretty cool, and it's well worth it for multiple reasons. I really like the idea of a documentary that is. It sounds like it's shot by somebody who is impartial to all of this, and to be able to see. I actually was involved over the last year because my background had been post-production, video editing, camera work, stuff like that, even though camera work is production. And I was brought in at one point to for somebody that we were talking to that said that he thinks that he is worthy of a documentary. And I what I'm like, I kind of did like the keen eye of this person, and he's had some stuff happen to him, and he's a medium. But I sat with my friend who used to own a editorial in Minneapolis, and I said, you can find these people everywhere. And I don't mean to diminish what this person could do, but this guy is coming across. He's coming from a place of wanting to be famous.
Right.
That's the way I saw it, where there's a lot of people who do exactly what he does. People like you and I are going out there. We're getting evidence that are far greater than what he's getting. And it's just like, we're not clamoring for documentaries to be made of us. So it's like, if you want to do something, this is what you're talking about here tonight. It's coming. It sounds like a much better, once again, it's impartial. And like you said, there sounds like there's a journey for everybody who's in the documentary. Like they have a personal journey.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone involved with the documentary has a personal journey. And with this advanced screening, anyone who purchases the screening has a chance to be a part of that journey, because there's going to be an interactive live stream of that screening, where you can offer your comments, questions, concerns, whatever, live to add to the story, if you will.
That's really cool. That gives people an opportunity, because it is something that I think people really would enjoy, is to be able to have, be able to share that experience. And, for those of us who do, like when I do the Spirit Box sessions, to be able to have people and let's see their comments and see what they're saying. And sometimes they're not always the greatest comments, but often they're going to be at least, feedback and stuff. That's just kind of, I love that. So that's going to be great for those who are following my pages and stuff. I'll make sure that it's out there for people to be able to know more about and be able to take part in as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for putting up you and Denise putting up the house for a free night. Now, are you going to be there, or do they get the pleasure?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll have to be here.
Can't get everything, I guess.
Yeah, there is that. But no, yeah, Denise and I will be here. We'll give you a tour of the house, and it's our home, so we're going to be here. All of our stuff is here.
And folks, make sure you understand that those words right there. It's his home. He's going to be there. Just wait to find out what that really means. You'll find out, as I
Yeah.
did.
Don't bring a junkie bar if you want to keep it.
Well,
Just-
and don't and avert your eyes to the ground if you want to keep your vision as well. So you got that as well. I wanted to kind of bring something up from last night's show. I had Lyle Blackburn on the show last night. Do you know who Lyle Blackburn is?
I do not.
So Lyle is, well, he's a really fairly renowned cryptid researcher. And
Okay, I have heard the name. Now that you say that, yes, I have heard.
He's written a lot of books, and he actually is very much in the Pamela Pierce camp for Legend of Boggy Creek, stuff like that. And I was really impressed, actually, or I don't know if super impressed, but I was really happy with his response, because we obviously talked about cryptids all night. We're talking about the Goat Man. We're talking about all these entities. And the one question that I asked him about, or actually it started with, I think Banner with Richie B, who's on the Get Haunted Network, asked the question about did Lyle think that the current trend of what he called the current trend of people thinking that Bigfoot is interdimensional, is that a current new thing? And Lyle said that he personally thought it was, though he said back in the 70s a lot of people thought that this is more like they could possibly be more UFO or interstellar, I guess. But I asked him point blank, I said, well, what do you think? What do you think about this as well? Because I mean, so many of these people, I find that they don't want to even consider the idea of interdimensional. And he was just like, he just said, I don't know. He says, I really don't know. I said, I'm open to it. He says, I feel like that it could be. And I really thought that was refreshing, quite frankly, to hear, because I mean, as we have talked many times before, Ernie, that, sometimes that's a very big leap for people who've been in the Bigfoot realm for so long to grasp onto, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm going to be speaking next weekend at the Indiana Bigfoot Conference. And, I'm a paranormal guy, and I'm going to go in there and talk to them about Bigfoot basically being a spirit of the forest or an interdimensional being. And these are guys who are trackers and hunters. And, for the most part, they're out there, with their FLIR cameras and drones and IR cameras and trail cams everywhere and all of those things, looking for this missing link, this animal.
Yep.
That I don't think they'll ever find, because they're looking for something that I don't think exists. I think that if they were looking for the spirit of the forest or the interdimensional being, they might very well find it, as you well know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think too, and we've talked about this before, and then we're going to head off to break here in a second. But, I find my theory is that these people don't ever really get to experience them because they can't make that leap of faith.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I try to, stress to everybody that wants to go in the woods and do some Bigfoot hunting, is don't go in the woods like you're looking for an animal.
Yeah.
Don't approach it that way at all. And you'll be surprised at the results you very well might get. And people just can't wrap their head around that. I mean, they've got it in their head that this is a missing link. This is a, undiscovered primate or whatever. And, I feel like I know better.
It's like they're furry, therefore they can't be anything other than animals.
Exactly. They leave tracks. They must be an animal. They throw rocks. They must be an animal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why don't we do this? Let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we can talk more Bigfoot, but I want to talk a little aliens. You up for alien discussion?
Let's talk some aliens. I haven't done a whole lot of alien research, but I have thoughts on it.
Okay, that's all we want. That's all I want are thoughts. And anyone who has questions, put them in the comments. You can also call in 952-946-6205 to talk to the Ernie Pack yourself. And we're going to take a break here. When we come back, more Ernie Pack. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakken here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. Greg Bakken here. Let's go on a paranormal investigation together. There is no better place to do that than a one-of-a-kind event we're holding at the haunted 300 Clifton Mansion in downtown Minneapolis, Monday, September 30th. This unique event starts with a quick 101 on how to use the equipment. Then we take a very special trolley tour. And unlike normal candlelight ghost tours, we stop at one of the locations on the tour and do a paranormal investigation right there. We return to the 300 Clifton Mansion and embark on a paranormal investigation throughout the beautiful 20,000 square foot home, exploring the large formal living room, secret passageways, and basements deep below, including areas not normally accessible to the public. The 101 and investigations are led by Char Savoy and myself. Tickets are limited. This event starts at 6:30 p.m. Monday, September 30th, with a couple of pricing options available, and tickets are available at 300clifton.com. Look for GhostBox Radio Candlelight Ghost Trolley Tours on the main page.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. As we were talking in the break, we have this amazing event coming up on September 30th over at the 300 Clifton. And once again, Adam, I can't tell people enough what a unique event that this is going to be on Monday the 30th, to be able to get into the mansion, go to places that they don't normally allow people to go. And I'm also really excited because if you do the Candlelight Trolley Ghost Tour, it goes to all these places, but they never actually stop to let you inside. And we're going to be doing that to not only go inside, but to do investigation there as well. So I don't know, Adam, I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a blast, and you can pick up tickets at the 300 Clifton website, which is the Minnesota Trolley Tour site. I would definitely suggest going, especially with the little 101 ahead of time. So if you've always kind of been interested in maybe doing this, it's going to be probably the best time to do it because it's inexpensive, and you get into a couple of really unique locations in Minneapolis that really nobody gets into.
Nope, it's going to be really cool. So definitely, please, folks, if you have any questions, reach out to us too. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have on that. We have as a special guest tonight Ernie Pack from Pac-Man Paranormal, the Ditto House, also Hauntings of Fort Duffield, and he has kindly stepped in at the last minute. Refined Divine could not be with us tonight. So once again, Ernie, thank you very much. I just wanted to point out what a immense cheerleader your wife is in the comments. Really just so supportive, and just wow. I tell you, that's really something there.
Yeah, she is. She isn't she great? She's always so nice to me, and I'll just leave it there.
Let's see what some of the comments that she's writing about now. She's talking about your underwear at some point during this. Telling that your stories are very long. So you want Ernie's. Here's a good one. You want Ernie's thoughts. It's only an hour show, Greg. So
well, that's because I have a lot of wisdom here, and she knows that.
She talks to you the way I talk to you, and I don't like you. So I mean, that's clearly. I mean, I don't know. I'm just being honest over here. You might want to. I don't know, but yeah,
it's not cool.
It's not cool. Everybody talks to you like that. So that's
right.
Poor.
I'm used to it. It's okay.
Poor Ernie. In the comments, Linda Judd said, and did you answer her?
I did.
Do you not realize this is a radio show where we will read the comments and you can answer it on air?
Well, I can still answer it on air, sir.
Just the whole. I know that you're not used to people writing in when your show is on, and that this is.
No, we never had anybody watch our show.
Okay. So Linda said, I've heard it said that Bigfoot is the being that we as humans were supposed to develop into, with the ability to use telepathy and interdimensional ability to travel.
Yes, I agree completely. I think that they're just I've talked about it before. I don't know if I've talked about it on your show, but scientists will tell you that humans only use like 10% of their brain. Some might use even less, Greg. But I believe that these beings are what we could be if we use that other 90% that's just going wasted up there. Mm-hmm. And I think that, kind of ties in with what Linda's saying. And, when we talk about aliens, I think it's the same thing. They are beings that probably evolved much like humans have, but they're much further along in their evolution, and they have those abilities. It might get crazy, and, you could go down a lot of rabbit holes with that. But, I firmly believe that cryptids like the Bigfoot or Dogman, whatever cryptid you want to name, and aliens have that higher intelligence or higher usage of their naturally given brain power.
I would be very disappointed at the end of the day to find out that aliens are in fact us from the future. Personally, I want my aliens to be not from Earth. That's the kind of aliens that I'm looking for here.
I can't disagree with that, really, because Earth is a really screwed up place.
Well, it's so
we have failed miserably in so many ways.
I mean, I'm down for the idea that that there's a lot of hybrids on Earth right now, that there are hybrids from the aliens, different types of aliens, whether it be Pleiadians or whatever, that are coexisting with us. But the thing is that at the end of the day, you find out that it's just us from the future. It's very lame Twilight Zone-y. I'd much rather just have this be like, we're from here, and this is what we had from from before. So let's see here. Linda is vibrant on the comments tonight, and she says, "Yeah, when an alien could be in your home and invisible at the same time is just downright rude." But then again, the same could be said about Bigfoot, right?
Exactly.
Ernie? In your own home.
Yes. And this is something else. I'm sure you know the story. We were out in the forest one weekend, spent an entire weekend with Squatchman, going to various places, most of it up in his forest there where you've been.
Mhm.
And we came home. It was right after we had bought this house. We hadn't even fully cleaned it out yet. And in one of the doorways downstairs, there was a huge footprint. And I wear a size 13, and this was 4 or 5 inches longer than my foot.
Mhm.
I put my foot next to it to compare, and it was wider and everything. I mean, it was there in the dust in the doorway. And we talked to some people about it, and there are people in the Bigfoot community who believe that they can follow you home just like a spirit can. And
That's
never thought.
I mean, that picture, very, I mean, because it was on the tile floor, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken,
It
something
was
like
right in the threshold between a tiled floor. It was on a painted part of the floor between the hardwood and the tiled floor,
Sure.
right in the threshold of a door.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And it's really, and that's, I mean, that was was that one of your first interactions? I mean, certainly the closest to home, literally.
That was the first one at the house, definitely.
Yeah.
We had never had anything like that, and never even considered that to be a possibility that there would be a Bigfoot forest person in our home. That just sounds crazy. I mean, the whole concept of Bigfoot itself to me was kind of a little crazy until Bigfoot found us, basically.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
So, I mean, but as you have experienced being around us, and we've experienced together a few times, things that you would have laughed at years ago at the concept of, like fairies or whatever. Now, it's like, well, no, I'm not going to laugh at that anymore. It's out there.
So Linda puts in here, and I have an interesting thought on this. Linda says, yes, Greg, your soul is from a different planet, even though you have an Earth disguise. And I believe such things exist. I personally don't believe that for myself. But the question I have, your thoughts on, first of all, Greg Yost, which Squatchman. We don't really ever talk about, is there a possibility of a hybrid of a forest person and a human? Because Greg Yost, he fits the bill. And I mean, we're just talking looks and stuff, but he also has that ability to be one with them. I mean, I don't think that's coincidence. That's by design.
I don't think it's a stretch to think that. He's heard that other people have thrown that suggestion at him. I've heard him talk about it. And I would say that it's entirely possible. Because as you've seen, I mean, he does have this way where he can just walk out there and summon them and they appear. And just by talking, not beating on trees, not howling, none of those things. Just walk out there and ask them to show themselves, and they will. And hundreds of people have been in the forest with him and seen this.
Yeah,
it's not just me saying that or you nodding in approval at what I say. I mean, it's real.
I never approve anything that you're talking about.
I agree.
But truly though, folks, I mean, this is, I mean, it's such a unique thing, but I mean, I have to admit that sorry, something touched me. I have this, we've tried it. We've tried his method away from, him in Minnesota, and it works.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it has to be like you can't just say the word. You can't just put the arms up, you have to have the you have to have the openness in your heart. And I know and you know, what's really interesting is we talk about so many times that if you're trying to do that, you're trying to reach out to aliens as well, you have to have the same sort of approval. And you also have to do the same if you want to reach out to spirit too.
Exactly. I mean, it's what we talk about all the time. They're all connected, and it's all about energy. I mean, you're dealing with energy beings, even the flesh and blood gray, or a flesh and blood Bigfoot that you like, Patty from the Patterson Gimlin footage, or a full-bodied apparition. You're talking about energy, and you have to bring a good positive energy and put it out there in order to get that kind of response in return. And
You do. And that's why we go back to what we said early in the first segment, that if you're like on these shows and you're and I don't know, I'm just going to be rude and say, if you're Bobo or something and all you think is that these are animals and that's how you go into it, that really is a perfect example of how you're not going to ever see one of these or really experience it. I mean, who am I to go out there on the very first time? And we weren't really, I remember Shar and I were, prior to coming out to Kentucky, we were just like, I don't know I don't know about this. I don't know. And our first night ever doing it, we hit upon what we all saw. I mean, there's just something about that, but without even really trying, we were open. You know what I mean? It wasn't, we didn't have to think about it. It's just, that's who we are.
right. And I mean, at the end of the day, we were at Fort Duffield near the mass grave where at least 48 young men were buried in a mass grave, and we were thinking spirit activity.
Yes.
And as paranormal investigators, we had that energy and that mindset, that openness, that positive, compassionate, willing to accept whatever came our way. We had that mindset. And that is, like you said, that's what you need to have an experience with the forest people or with aliens or any of that. And so it just happened to be that there was one there that wanted to come out and show himself to us and just kind of stand there in the moonlight with the moonlight glistening on his hair.
And I will never forget, unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, for lack of a better way to draw it, that's about what we saw right there.
That was about what we saw. That was done through AI. I just put in what I saw, and except I said 50 yards away because we weren't that close to it.
No, we weren't quite that close. He was about 50, 75 yards away, maybe.
Yeah.
He just stood there for a moment with that kind of pose and then turned and went back down stage right from that picture.
And I know a lot of our listeners have heard this story many times. And the only thing I can say in defense of keep talking about it is if you've experienced it, you're going to keep talking about it too, because it is, my life changed. Your life changed. Denise's, Char's, our lives changed that moment. I mean, I know that you all expect a lot out of Fort Duffield, and it's a very generous in what it shares with you, but still, it's still incredible.
Yeah, it's life changing for anyone that has an experience like that. I mean, it's a spiritual experience. I mean, it's I mean, I can't explain it any other way. It moves you. I mean, it touches you inside, and it's just hard to explain to someone who hasn't experienced it. But it's amazing.
Denise, also known as your wife, had said your Squatchman approved when I was talking about when we were doing without you went out with him, and they know you're safe. I do feel like, excuse me, that there is some form of approval, that we all received, that there was a trust that was built. It's like they came in, it was immediate friendship.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's and again, I keep going back to it's the same with spirits.
Yes.
At you go to the same location time and again to communicate with the same spirits. Eventually, you'll build up a trust with those spirits, and they'll open up more to you about their story. As you guys know with Sarah's story,
Yep.
They'll tell you more and more. The more you build that relationship and build that trust, and the forest people are no different.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we're going to keep on this track. I want to talk a little bit more about aliens, but whatever comes to our mind, it's just a fascinating conversation. Anything you all want to hear or anything you want Ernie to talk about, put it into the comments, or you can give us a call, 952-946-6205. We will be back in a couple minutes. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refinedivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakken here. Like many of you, I still collect physical books, and not just any books, but books about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. I go to Megas Books and Herbs, located in the Arts District of Minneapolis, but books are only part of it. Megas Books and Herbs offers crystals, jewelry, herbs, oils, and consultations on how to use this stuff. Check out their in-store classes and events too. This place has everything to expand your horizons. Located at 1848 Central Avenue, Minneapolis, or visit megasbooks.com. Twin Cities Con returns to the Minneapolis Convention Center for their 4th year, November 8th through 10th. Twin Cities Con is a celebration of comics, toys, TV, film, art, cosplay, games, and all things nerdy. It's also a family-friendly event where you can meet your favorite celebrities, browse the vendor hall and artist alley for the coolest merch, watch celebrity Q&A, and even more. Twin Cities Con is bigger and better than ever before, with guests like Anakin Skywalker himself, Hayden Christensen, Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Encanto, WWE Hall of Fame wrestler Sting, and Lou Diamond Phillips. Plus, your favorite voice actors. 3 days of action-packed fun in the heart of Minneapolis at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Tickets start at $25. Kids tickets are just $8 for the entire weekend. VIP tickets also available, including some really cool VIP perks. Don't wait to get your tickets because early bird pricing is for a limited time. Buy your tickets and get more information at TwinCitiesCon.com. And tomorrow, it's time for Myth or Mystery, our weekly paranormal panel show where we will play videos and we all decide, along with people who vote, whether the video that they're looking at is myth, mystery, or unknown, basically whether or not it's paranormal or not. The show is a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked it out, please go and take a look. You can find it on Get Haunted. You can also find it on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakken. That's at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Here is a preview of what we're going to look at tomorrow.
This week on Myth or Mystery. In this video, you can hear a voice say a phrase or sentence as a young man approaches the back door of a home. The click of the door is audible as it opens by itself, and it opens enough for the young man to enter. He then called his mother. That's when she checked the surveillance footage and saw what had happened. The footage was supplied to us by a registered nurse who had lived in the home. She had experienced things herself, including seeing a man in a wide-brimmed hat in her bedroom doorway. Her parents sold the house, and the new family heard a jackhammer by their window in the middle of the night. They also report a mimic voice impersonating their son calling out for his mother when he was away. They believe the spirit is friendly, and to be the first owner of the home, a man named Joseph. He is said to have passed away in the backyard. The security camera captured a figure in the backyard at night that they suspect is the spirit of Joseph. Join us Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Myth or Mystery as we analyze the best in paranormal.
And that is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakken Facebook page. You can only vote, though, at Myth or Mystery Live on YouTube. And then afterwards, we're going to replay an episode of GhostBox Radio. And our guest tomorrow is going to be author David L. Sloan, who has really chronicled the history of Robert the Doll. And we did this interview last August, and that was actually pretty interesting. You got to check this one out. And honestly, that was a year ago, actually, over a year ago, that during that interview, something happened over here again. So check it out tomorrow. It's a great episode for sure. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have with us Ernie Pack, Pac-Man Paranormal, Fort Duffield, the Ditto House, and we've been talking just all things paranormal tonight. People must not want to hear what you have to say, though, because I keep saying, put in the comments what you want to hear Ernie talk about, and no one's really taken to that one bit, Ernie. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting nothing. I got nothing.
No, but that's okay, because I have some stuff. For us. One of the things that I understand is that there's going to be more Capitol Hill hearings on UFOs. I think that's going to start up in November. Are you happy with the government response over the past year or so with their congressional hearings on all things UAP?
I think that we're being fed things piecemeal because of the possible ramifications to the religious community and certain aspects of the science community that are reluctant to be open to these things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I think that the government is doing things very methodically in how they're releasing this and holding these hearings, and then how they're responding to the witnesses or whistleblowers that come forth.
So you're thinking that it's basically you have to kind of, it's like a gradient in a sense to ramp up, because you don't want to be like, okay, really what's happening is that we estimate there's about 3 billion aliens living amongst us, and saddle up, here we go. We basically, like, we gotta kind of ease people into it.
Right. I mean, look at Independence Day, the movie. I know that was just a movie, but if it was just like all of a sudden, okay, they're here and they're coming to see us, think of the shockwaves that would spread.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't think there's any way to do it. I mean, there's one thing talking about it, experiencing it, seeing it, and I mean it from a public level. I mean, yes, Independence Day, that's pretty, bombastic, and they actually destroy everything. But also, you think about a film like Signs, where it's more of an infiltration, but yet once that one alien appears on screen during the video footage with that birthday party, everyone's going and saying that's all it's going to take. I mean, I don't think there's a good way, really, quite frankly, to get it
there's
out.
There's really not a good way. But I mean, I think what the government, and I'm not a proponent, I'm not a fan of the government by any means.
Right.
But I think the way they're doing this is probably the only approach that they could take.
Yeah.
Because I think they know, like those of us who have an open mind and have our eyes open, know that this is real, this exists, it's out there. But if they were to just come out and say, it's real, it's out there, deal with it, you'd have just a mass panic, you'd have a mass denial. It would cause chaos.
I think also there'd be a number of people, and this is not meant to be a political jab one way or the other, but I think a lot of people would be like, this is fake. This is
right.
This is
don't
not
believe anything the government tells you.
Yeah. No, totally. It's very much. It would be very much like
flag or whatever. It's
whatever side you want. It's the one that's creating this to cause chaos.
Yeah. It's a distraction from what are they really doing?
Totally.
That's what we hear all the time now.
Well, and I had on a few weeks ago Nancy Thames, and she is She's very deeply into UFOs. She tells us that she talks to aliens, and that she talks about what she calls ascension, which is everybody. You get to a point that we all accept these aliens and the ships coming in, that we will be ready for them kind of at the same time. They won't, and not everybody, but the majority of us will be, so that when they publicly appear to us, that we're going to be able to be ready for that. I think, in my humble opinion, I think that's a bit pie in the sky. I would love that to be the case, but I just even as much as we prepare, and as much as like people like you and I live in this, that's
Right.
that's a big ask, I think.
I agree. I mean, it's, it sounds like, biblically speaking, the rapture, where those who are prepared and those who know and those who accept, in the Bible's case, Jesus Christ and God and everything the Bible preaches. If you are prepared and you know and you accept into your heart, you will be lifted up.
It's so funny you say that, because I said the same thing to her, and she got angry. Not angry, but she challenged me back, and I was like, "Oh, it's not about religion." I'm not saying it's about religion.
No, but
I'm just saying, don't you see the parallels here?
Exactly.
And don't you think that that's purposeful? Like, and I said to her, "Do you ever think that maybe Jesus Christ was an alien?" Honestly, I mean, what if we're looking back at a period of history that, like you said, is like, we're talking about, the Bible and stuff, and they're talking about stuff like the rapture, but what if that is what she calls ascension? What if that's a real thing? Just for a second, we think that's what that actually is. It's talking about aliens or something. It changes everything. And I mean, it's just something to kind of think about a little bit. I mean, how much have we been going down a path that we don't realize we've been going down? I think our entire existence.
Right. I agree completely. And, I mean, I'm not going to get religious here, and not going to, hopefully not hurt any feelings or anything like that. But, if you've read the Bible, it's a good history book and future predictor in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that a lot of what's in there is imagery that, it has these parallels to things that we're seeing, and, things like exactly what we're talking about right now. And if people would just open their mindset, it's not going against the Bible at all to have your mind open to that. But that gets, I don't know, it gets touchy, and it gets very, people draw hard lines on that kind of thing. And I think there's a lot of gray area to a lot of that.
I think so too. And I do respect the fact that faith is very important to people. And it is not for me to try to shake anyone's faith or belief in anything, but it's just like, that was when she was talking about ascension. That was the very first thing I thought of as well, Ernie, was what you just said about the rapture. And I just am happy that you said that, because she is just like, oh, no. She didn't sound like that, by the way. But it was just kind of like, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
You can't see the parallels.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it is it's a mirror. One's a mirror image of the other, just with a different ideology behind it.
Totally. No, it's such an interesting conversation. And I think we all have to be able to be open to these conversations without feeling like that our belief system is being trampled on. I think that we can put that to the side and still have just to kind of hear what the other person has to say, and see if that makes any sort of like sense to us.
I agree completely. It's I don't know. I better be quiet, because I'll say something that'll hurt somebody's feelings or something. And I don't want to do that, because I mean, I was raised a Southern Baptist. Dad was a deacon in church. Mom was a Sunday school teacher. And so I believe in all of those things that are in the Bible. but I also have an open enough mind to understand that there's a lot more to it than just what's there.
I agree.
And that there's a lot of imagery used to describe things that was written 2,000 years ago.
Exactly.
And times have changed. And
as excuse me, as Denise says, hieroglyphics show aliens in ancient times. I mean, and you and I, Denise, Shar, all of us, and many people who are listening to us right now have seen stuff we can't explain.
yes.
Or not even can't explain, that it goes beyond what most people would be familiar with. So it just, I mean, you can't help but be like, we're seeing things on just a little bit of a broader scale, and everyone is welcome to be open and check it out as well.
Exactly. And as a paranormal investigator or a paranormal talk show host, it is not our job to say this is how it is on anything, because we're just people who are looking for answers just like everyone else. We just happen to be a little more open-minded than a lot of people to a lot of possibilities, and we happen to have experiences because we're actually out there looking for these things.
Absolutely. We're going to have to cut it off there. Ernie Pack, thank you so very much. What a fun conversation, and I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to join us for Myth or Mystery tomorrow. And David L. Sloan, Robert the Doll, have a good night.
It's Brad Friedman, host of the Bradcast, weeknights at